Inner peace comes at last through horror. How, you ask, can this be? Follow my footsteps and you shall see. The truth is inside of you and me. The fans of spooky films and creepy tales disengage from all that hold you tight, strangling your last light. Your strength is waiting here in the dark. Bring on the horror! Evil Dead chick presents horror mania. The scariest time you will ever experience on YouTube. Get ready to be thrilled, chilled, and fulfilled by my quest to see every horror movie ever made. Bring on the vampires, zombies, and werewolves. Don't forget the maniacs slashing their way through your front door. The ghosts, the ghouls, and the creepy critters under your Bring on the horror! Evil Dead chick presents Horror Mania!
Hi, I am Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel. Don't forget to watch Evil Dead Chick on Deadites on Deck on YouTube. Oh, and subscribe, man!
Take out the trash. Why? There might be something delicious in all that slop. Put out the air fresheners. Place the clothespin on your nose. Let's dig into the cream of the crop. Celluloid trash. It stinks, but we must watch. Celluloid trash. It stinks, but we must watch.
Howdy, gang. Hey, the poet, and welcome to yet another edition of Celluloid Trash. Hey, Hope. maybe if you had a sharp eye, see, the poet said he liked the new intro. So I appreciate that, the poet, very much. I was trying to spice things up a little bit. So I've got a new intro for Celluloid Trash and once again, a new overlay. Hey, kids, for Celluloid Trash. I thought it was cute anyway. So here in a little bit, and I'm sorry I was late. I was running a little bit behind again. We're going to be talking about Killer Crocodile from 1989, directed by Fabrizio De Angelis, and Killing Spree from 1987, directed by Tim Ritter. Anybody remember Tim Ritter? I do, from way back when, but I had to rewatch this. And also, I wanted to say I just got my Cold Cruel Christmas shirt in from my buddies over at Fright Rags. You know, I sell t-shirts too, but you know, if you're looking for the best horror t-shirts, they ain't cheap, folks. I ain't gonna lie. But these guys and gals do good work. They do fantastic work on their shirts. So this is about all I can afford to get when Joe, Bob, and Darcy have the Christmas shows. And all the money goes to charity. Whenever, you know, whether you buy a shirt or you get something off their auctions. But I just wanted to show the Cold Cruel Christmas shirt off I got. Hope you say Scream 7 was the best Scream movie ever. For me, if you didn't see our review yet, this was my second favorite after the original. It was good. And Hope You Say Lake Placid is my favorite gator kill movie. And the poet's asking Hope where she would rank the Scream movies. So we're going to get to the movies here in a little bit, but for those of you that were here early enough, I hope you saw the Achieving Peace Through Horror. You may still be wondering, what in the hell is that? Which, if you watch my promo on the channel, you can kind of get a little bit of a intro into it, like what crazy thing is Dana doing now. So just a little update on the changing time situation. It's looking more and more like I may be having to change my times. So make sure you get on there and vote in the poll for, if I have to change the times for the streams, what would be the best time for you. Okay. So I just want to make sure everybody has advance notice of this. And has time to vote. Okay. All right. So I just want to, real quick, before we get into these two movies, I just want to remind you folks that there are several different ways to support me and the channel, and they won't cost you a dime. One of the ways is by subscribing. There's never a bad time to subscribe to not only my channel, but anybody else's channel that you are enjoying the content that they're putting out. Okay. And once you subscribe, you can hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the new content either me or anybody else has got coming out. Okay. Most of the time it works with YouTube, I'll be honest. There have been times in the past where people have told me they didn't get notifications, and I don't know if they were yanking my chain or it was a real thing. But there was a time where I wasn't getting notifications for people's stuff, and now I get notifications all the time. So maybe that was the case. It more than likely was. And here's something else you can do. You can hit that like button on stuff you especially enjoy. And heck, if you like it all, hit that like button all across the board, folks. And here's one more way that you can support me and the channel. It won't cost you a dime, won't cost anybody you tell about the channel a dime. You can share my channel at Deadites on Deck with friends and family members that you think would enjoy the content I'm putting out. And you do this one of two ways. You can do this by word of mouth. You know, whether it's talking to somebody through Messenger to say, hey, have you seen Evil Dead Chick on Deadites on Deck? I think she's putting some really cool stuff out there. Or you can do like You say you don't get some notifications, so I'm guessing it's still a little clunky. And I apologize about that. I wish I could, make YouTube change their spots and fix that, because that definitely does cause a problem when people are like, shoot, I missed it, or, they had to come in there late and they didn't really want to. But the other way that you can share is by doing what Kit said and sharing maybe one of the videos or streams that you watched or attended and you really enjoyed it. You could share that video and tag my channel at Deadites on Deck in the description. Okay. So without further ado, and because I was so late, let's get to these movies, folks. So the first movie I want to talk about tonight is Killer Crocodile, starring Anthony Crenna, and like I said, directed by Fabrizio De Angelis. And this came out in 1989. It says it's directed by Larry Ludman, but I think that was just a pseudonym for a foreign director. Okay, folks. Now, I know I've said in the past and kind of recently, that I don't really much care for Jaws ripoffs unless they really got something unique going for them. Okay, I think this one did. It's got a lot of, nods to Jaws, I guess would be the nice way of saying that. Only we're dealing with a crocodile. And the reason this crocodile became so large is because outside of these little villages, someone has been, dumping toxic waste, radioactive waste into the water. And it's made this one particular crocodile very, very large, like Jaws type large, only it's a crocodile instead of a shark. So we have these environmentalists that are trying to find evidence that, somebody's illegally dumping toxic waste into the water. And they run afoul of this killer crocodile, and sadly, the crocodile does eat a dog. I know it's fake. I know they didn't really eat a dog. And the crocodile, although it looks very good, you can still tell it's fake sometimes through the eyes and stuff like that. There is one scene in the movie where I think they used a real crocodile because it was a lot smaller and it looked kind of like stock footage type of deal. But even with Jaws, they use real shark footage at one point. All right. So I enjoyed this. There were some good kills, good shots of the crocodile eating people and having people in its mouth. There were some subtle and not so subtle nods to Jaws in the film. But I found this movie fun. Okay. Even when it eats up some of our main characters, which is, I think I forgot to finish that sentence. One of the environmentalists gets eaten early on, or partially eaten, I should say, by the killer crocodile. And she turns up later, bobbing up and down the water, and I think she's got an arm bitten off, leg bitten off. We see other people getting limbs cut off, whole people being swallowed, and just a lot of fun with this movie. I don't think this movie was really that bad. A lot of these I say, they're so bad they're good, right? I don't even think that fits this category. I thought it was entertaining. It was fun. It was bloody enough. Giannetti De Rossi did all the effects, and he probably created the crocodile in this too. But hey, folks, I know Jaws was a big budget movie, and I love Jaws, and I have great, wonderful memories of watching Jaws with my dad. It's one of my favorite movies ever. Okay. That was the movie that I always said me and my dad would drop everything just to watch Jaws. Even if that was the millionth time we've seen it, we would watch it, right? But you could tell sometimes that that shark was not a real shark. I mean, it was obvious. So I can, and that was a bigger budgeted movie, definitely, than Killer Crocodile. So I can deal with that. I can deal with that a little bit, folks. That does not bother me. And of course, I think there was a Killer Crocodile too, which I'm going to say what happens at the end of this leaves it open for another Killer Crocodile movie. Now, I have not seen Killer Crocodile 2. I may want to. I'm sure it won't be as good as this one, but I had a lot of fun with this one. And you can watch it on Tubi for free if you'd like. I think it's also on the Fossil Map. And so, yeah, I mean, I found this one really, really good, actually. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a rating. I liked it so much, I'll give it 5 deadites out of 5. I don't think it was that bad of a movie at all. And for a Jaws ripoff, yeah, it's up there for me. All right. So the next movie. Okay, folks. Let's get to it. Okay, Killing Spree, folks. Tim Ritter's Killing Spree. And I think I made my little thing, my overlay go away, so I'll put it back. All right. What can you say about Killing Spree? Yeah. Now this one's bad, folks. It's bad acting, overacting by the main guy who is there on the poster. Yeah. Okay. And I must admit, folks, that I watched Killing Spree. Came out in 1987, directed by Tim Ritter, like I said. I watched this the only way I could watch it. Now, I watched it years and years and years ago, but I didn't remember everything about it, so I wanted to refresh myself on it. It turns out I probably didn't need to. But the only version I could find to watch for free was on YouTube, and these guys did a riff tracks kind of thing over top of it. And that was more entertaining than the movie, folks. But the movie is so outrageously over the top that I can find some kind of fun in it. You know, I liked it better this time around. I don't know if it was because the guys were riffing on it or what, but they had me laughing the whole time. And you could hear the dialogue in the background quite a bit. So you have a guy here, this guy Tom, that's on the poster, and he's convinced that his wife, who's the girl laying in the bathing suit at the top of Killing, and Tim Ritter also did Truth or Dare as well, and a lot of people seem to like Truth or Dare, and seem to like it better than Killing Spree, I think. But I have not seen Truth or Dare, so I can't comment on that. But he believes that his wife is screwing every guy that comes in the house, whether they're a repairman or somebody to mow the lawn or whatever. And he, I guess, is an airplane mechanic. I guess that's what job he does. And he has a neighbor that looks like Mama from Mama's Family. I kid you not. Even the guys doing the riffing on this movie talked about it. But spoiler alert, folks, his wife is not screwing around with all these guys. These are romance stories that she's writing to get money. But she thinks she's keeping her writing hidden in like what looks like a planner book. Well, Tom finds it and thinks that she's writing down all her sexual escapades or sexcapades or whatever you want to call them. And he ends up killing everybody that he thinks she screwed around with. And it gets crazier and crazier and crazier as it goes on. It's really bloody, gets bloodier as it goes on. He puts a blade, looks like a machete blade, on ceiling fan, lifts this guy up and lets it cut him up. It's this old dude that he says is his best friend. Brings over a girl that looks like Cyndi Lauper from far away, that he's supposed to be dating some young girl, makes him feel young again. And Tom goes insane and kills her, cuts off her head, and throws it at the other guy. Yeah, this movie is outrageously crazy. But if you want to look into it, I mean, you may be able to dig around to find a free version, maybe on Daily Motion or something. But I had a lot of fun watching it with the two guys riffing on it. I was laughing like crazy. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to give this one as high of a rating as I did Killer Crocodile, because, you know, it's just not, folks, it's just not that good if you want to compare the two. But I will at least, I'll give it 3 deadites out of 5, folks. But that's all I can give it. All right. But am I telling you not to watch it? Well, heck no, because some of y'all might get more entertainment value out of watching it than I did, right? I remember really hating it, though, when I watched it when I was a lot younger, probably in my 20s. It was the last time I had seen Killing Spree, and I was like, what in the heck is this shit? You know? And I've seen some bad stuff before, okay? But that doesn't mean that you guys and gals out there might not like it. So, like I always say, I don't like to beat a dead horse with these things. And, just keep talking about them long past their prime, long past the time that I should be talking about them. But I should return tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time, when we're going to talk about some more horror films from the 20s, with a new episode of Horror Mania. And I've got a bunch of new stuff. Hopefully nothing will keep me from doing those this week. And the poet, Kits, Hope, I want to thank you guys and gals for being in here with me in the chat, keeping me coming in the chat tonight while we navigated through Killer Crocodile and Killing Spree. Next week, next Monday, we should be doing another couple of films. Mausoleum from 1983, directed by Michael Duggan, and Night Train to Terror from 1985, directed by John Carr, plus 4 more people, because Night Train to Terror, if you didn't know, is an anthology film. So that's what we got coming up next Monday, if all goes well. Be sure to vote on the time poll, the watch along weekend polls, to get your votes in before I take those polls down. Okay. So you got a little bit of time on all of those. But I just want to remind everybody about those. And for those of you that were in here and you were watching along, but maybe you didn't feel comfortable getting in the chat, or you were watching this live stream on a device like a smart television where you're not able to chat at the same time, I thank you for joining me as well. And for those of you that didn't get to be in here when it was live, or didn't get to stay for the duration, but you'll watch this on the replay, I thank you guys and gals as well. And as always, I'm off like a dirty shirt. This shirt is definitely not dirty, but I'm off like one. And I want to remind everybody, as I always do before I get off of here for the night, to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Have a fantastic rest of your Monday night, folks. And I'll see everybody next time.